Well, we're here at Goodwin Competition. What you doing, Matt?
Oh, we did lose it. It's still here.
Oh, look at that.
I got the other part of the grill.
All the parts and pieces.
Oh, look at that. And then we need the grill. We can just a little bit of JB Weld. Some
good.
Some super glue.
It's upside down.
No, it isn't. Look.
Oh, you're right. Okay, never mind. Anyways, first tech tip of the day is if you happen to check a rod, you should take the belly pan off before you load it in the trailer. Otherwise, it's going to empty itself all over your trailer. I'll show you that in a minute. But yeah, we'll see what we can update you with once we get this motor ripped out. All right, well, here we are, ripping it apart. Here's some of the ugliness you can see. Thankfully, that's the oil pan. We'll find out more when we get it out, but something's trying to get out there. We also noticed the oil pump on the far side is loose, but we're not sure if that was from the strut hitting it. But anyways, and on a total side note, this lovely boat here is for sale. Hit up Todd Goodwin. It's got twin big box Chevys. How much horsepower does it make?
1150 a piece.
1150 a piece. Well, that ought to get it moving. Anyways, yeah, we appreciate Todd letting us take this thing apart in his shop. Got some helpers with us too. Yeah, this side of the oil pan all looks good.
Probably you can remove that dry sand.
Getting there. Red comes off all in one nice piece. Pretty nice to work on, actually. Well, we're getting closer. Gonna take the torque converter bolts off. I think Matt's gonna have a nap. People were asking if the car was salvageable. So this side of the car, nothing. The roof actually looks perfect. Even the back, we have another, Matt has another quarter. You can see it's cracked a bit there. There's a bit of a hit here, but the quarters go up to here, so it's really not that bad once you get this quarter off. Don't know if we cracked the tubs. Did you crack the tubs, Matt?
Yeah, maybe.
Don't really know yet.
I don't know. I don't think so, because it looks like no, I don't think so. I think it was just the edge here. That seems to be.
It really looks like the body took the majority of the hit. It didn't get into the frame.
Like even the floor is pretty loose. Like it didn't.
Yeah. Overall, it's not near as bad as it could have been, for sure.
Yeah, I didn't hit it at 90. It hit like probably 15-degree angle, because like I went full lock as soon as it kicked me sideways. So kind of just glanced off the wall more than anything, and yeah.
And yeah, time slip's still in here. So not bad for glancing off the wall. I mean, I think there's other braking methods, but
Before that,
746, and the draggy, yeah, at 1,000 feet it was 6.1. I think the draggy said 171 miles an hour, 74 miles an hour, something like that.
181.
No, I think it was 70.
I'll
But
pull it up.
yeah. Oh, I know I'm right, but anyways,
You must be
almost
mistaken.
update coming shortly. So what does the draggy say, Matt?
It says 171, but it says 609, not 61, so you're wrong. Way wrong.
Okay. There's way more lobes on that one. Oh, wait a minute, that's cam bearings. How many cam bearings?
10.
10 cam bearings, and it's a 70 millimeter cam, is it?
75.
75. Oh. You
It's
have
technically nine journals, but I put 10 bearings on it. Yep. But every 2 lobes is supported.
Not much deflection in that.
None. No.
Very
It
cool.
looks different on the exhaust side than mine.
Yours is like that?
Nope.
Okay.
It's only got 3 bolts.
Well, I've got, 3 bolts. Okay, yeah.
And it's
Yep.
Coming out.
I think we can come forward right through the jack area, I think maybe, huh?
I think so.
Okay. Let me just...
Well,
You got that scab PRI.
there it is. Dart back in the trailer. Headed back to Alberta for some work. That's what you get with Goodwin Competition. A jacking bolt to get that fancy oil pan off. Yeah. I think that bearing's good.
Roper rod. It looks like to me.
Yep, I think so. Definitely a little bit of carnage in there, but honestly nothing that a little bit of welding won't fix. Didn't come through, still held coolant. Let's get out the welder.
You're right. Yep, for sure.
You can weld that rod back together, no problem at all. Well, guess we're on our way home. Engine's all apart. Well, not all apart. We just took the oil pan off and a couple of the rod bearings. Yeah, so what did we find, Matt?
2-piece rod.
It's one of those new 2-piece rods. Yeah. So as best we can tell, the rod failed. So before anyone gets all crazy, I mean, you know, we're probably on the first pass, the shakedown pass, that was going to run the 8th mile, and he ran the 1/4 mile. We had a little boost creep. We made 30 pounds of boost. Now, 30 pounds of boost doesn't sound much, but with heads that flow 670 CFM, 30 pounds of boost on this motor is about 4,000 horsepower. So Todd does a lot of R&D. He's got spintrons, does a lot of offshore boat stuff. So he's got steel rods. He's got steel rods and lots of those that fare very well. So
Around 3,000, 3,200 horse.
yeah, around 3,200 horse. Now, when it broke this time, it was probably only making 2,800 horse or something, 25 maybe.
Maybe up top.
But fatigue. You know, the first pass did make 30 pounds, which we were fully expecting to put 30 pounds down there. It was actually kind of a confidence builder that we put 30 pounds and we didn't have any issues.
So I'd never had it on methanol with that boost, but the freaking fueling was dead nuts on, and it liked it. The only reason it went up there is because when you go from a 1 to a 3 shift with that stator, it just ends up like a snowmobile because it can't couple because it has so much power. And I only run 260 mil wastegates, so they can't keep up with that kind of exhaust energy. So it just ends up creeping away on you. You can't control it. You could put 2 sets of 4 wastegates on it, but really at lower RPM or most of the spot, by the time that we're actually going and accelerating through on a run, it doesn't run away. Like if you just run the wastegates normal, you can run that thing at 12 pounds going down the track, as long as you're on a controlled acceleration rate. You don't have an abundance of exhaust, energy sitting there. The wastegates will keep up.
But anyways, we never over boosted it, I guess is what is the point of that. And Yeah, so we're not sure actually. We might actually send the rods back and see
To Cali's,
or
if there's a problem with metallurgy in them, or you know why the one rod failed. Originally, we thought it was alternator belt kicked and hit the dry sump. Why the dry sump belt actually came off was when it hit the wall, the lower control arm hit the dry sump and hit the belt off and kicked the alternator belt off. At the same time, I looked and reviewed the data because we didn't actually have the data. Well, we didn't actually look at it. Then we looked at the data and said, "Oh, here's the G-force. Here's where it hit the wall."
so we confirmed it definitely didn't lose the alternator belt and the oil pump belt prior to hitting the wall. So we know it wasn't lack of oil pressure, and the bearings that we pulled,
They look great.
they look great. So there was really doesn't look like a tune issue. It really looks like the rod failed, and that's what caused the problem. So most high horsepower, this kind of high horsepower, run aluminum rods. So I think that might be where this ends up now, is with aluminum rods.
It would have been nice to run a steel rod, then that way you don't really have your maintenance intervals a lot longer between, and that's kind of what we were going for. But I think at the power that this makes, we'll just have to go to like a GRP or MGP aluminum rod and just deal with it and make them a service item, because really, like, I don't want to change springs every drag and drive. I don't want to change stuff all the time because it's a pain in the butt. But as long as we can get the thing to live and run it with aluminum rods, how many runs do you actually do in drag and drive? As long as we're doing, short hits and then just, within reason. When you're making 4,000 horse, maybe you only get 40 runs out of a set of rods, 50 runs. Well, those are hard runs that make them count, but if you do shorter ones, then it's not as big of a deal. But it's also heat cycling is the real thing that hurts aluminum rods. So if you're not going through the big heat cycles, but also, talking with Todd, he said driving a set of aluminum rods in the street isn't going to hurt him. It's not the equivalent of running a quarter-mile run. So I think that's the way we're going to have to end up going, just with that kind of horsepower that it's making. The steel rod just has no give whatsoever at that horsepower level.
Yeah, so anyways, that's the update. As far as the block goes, it definitely can be welded up. It popped one rocker off. The roller lifter still looks good. We have to, the only thing with a sealed cam tunnel, Todd was saying, is that it's really hard to repair if there's any issues with the cam tunnel. But from our quick inspection, all that stuff looks good. So definitely could have been a lot worse. That's about it. Thanks everyone for subscribing and watching. Sorry we cut it short. Now we're on our way back home, back to snowy Alberta.
20 hours.
Another 20 hours, yeah, 24 or something for me. But all right, we're out. Thanks everyone. Back.